Hello. I think that countdown was for me. I'm sorry. I gotta do that one thing before we can actually get into the run and start the timer. I do need to show that the default settings are here, other than your keyboard layout. I know we've got, I believe, the German restream, French restream, and the Japanese restream. I know earlier this week I spoke with Sarah and Yuki, who will be doing commentary for the Japanese restream. Thank you very much for doing that. I'm really looking forward to it. Let me go and get the timer started here. And time is gonna actually start when we skip this opening cutscene. So we're gonna cut out some of the loading time here, and then I can talk a little bit about the run when it loads in. Right, 3, 2, 1, and go. So let me start by, I suppose, introducing myself. I am Sushi Kishi. Watashi no namae wa Kishi Sushi desu. Nickname wa Sugi desu. Watashi no nihongo wa totemo chisai desu. And that is the extent and beyond of the Japanese I do happen to know off the top of my head. Unless there is somebody I want to ask their phone number of. That's pretty much it for me. We're playing Typing of the Dead 2 today. If you're familiar with the first game, this is a remake of the sequel. This is a remake of Typing of the Dead 3. And this game was only released in Japan, I believe. I also thought the first game was only released in English, and I found out I was wrong about that. But as far as I know, this game has only been released in Japanese. It has a katakana kanji mode as well, but we are playing in Romaji mode today, which lets me see what we'll just call the English, the Romanized letters here, so I can play on a standard US keyboard and not have to learn the new keyboard layouts or how to type kanji or anything like that. I don't have to learn where katakana keys are. I would like to pick up a proper Japanese keyboard and maybe take a stab at the other game mode at some point. I know there are like stickers you can get for a keyboard, but just from an input standpoint, if I'm using this US keyboard, there are a couple of keys that I haven't been able to hit before, so I'd like to get the real deal at some point. Through the first chapter. It's just an introductory chapter, very quick. We're actually going to start into the plot here. Each chapter, except for the first, the intro and the last chapter, every other chapter is going to have two selections for me. I can either go left or right, basically. And the fastest path is always going to be left, except for chapter 4. I've got it in big capital letters on my splits here, so I don't forget. If you've seen a Typing of the Dead 1 speedrun, you know that there's quite a bit of intentional damage you take there. You use your lives and your quarters very well there. Especially since in between each level you can actually get a you can reset your lives and your credits for most of the chapters. In this game, that is not the case. Mainly because resetting between chapters just takes longer in this game. The loading times are longer, resetting everything just takes a little bit longer to do it that way. But also for me, being a native English speaker, not having any real Japanese experience, the language barrier is going to make it difficult, and I'm going to need as many lives as I can get. There is a very real chance we'll get to the last stage, to the final boss, and I'll be on my last quarter, if not my last little one-up fire there in the bottom left corner. Now, aside just from the words that we'll be typing on our way, there are other sources of RNG, namely in item drops. On my F1 key right now, I've got a Molotov cocktail. That's a good item. I throw that and every word on the screen will get hit. It'll just clear the board for me, which is nice. On my F2 key, I've got that stopwatch, and the stopwatch will slow down time. That's great if you're trying to get a really high score and type your words quickly. It is not good for speedrunning purposes, and I'm going to have to find a way to get rid of that without costing myself too much time. I did not want to get hit there, but that's alright. I'm gonna have plenty of time to max out the life meter here. I think that was Esperanto. Like, not I think that was Esperanto. One of the few kanji I know was, I'm pretty sure that last one was the kanji for language. You'll see these very, very long phrases every now and then that'll be on usually a cluster of 3 enemies. Hopefully I'm typing fast enough to get it all in one cycle, if you will. If I'm not typing at A level speed, they will break up on me and I'll have to repeat part of the phrase. And I'll get credit for my progress, kind of, in that maybe 1 or 2 of the enemies will disappear, 1 or 2 of the zombies will die. But I'll have to start the last third of the phrase all over again. You may also notice that in this game versus typing of the Dead 1, I feel like there's a lot more punctuation. That may just be because of the language difference more than anything. Like in one of those phrases, I just realized I saw. I wanted me to type like number 1, and in English it would be, you know, Number, but in Romaji it wanted to do No period. And that's just you know, I'd like to see as little punctuation as possible. The less I have to do my keys, remember where, you know, where my period key is, all that stuff, the better. Oh yeah, there we go. Something else that's different between this game and the light gun version of Typing of the Dead 2 is I don't have to see what I'm hitting. The hitbox may be active even if the zombie's off screen, and in this game the hitbox is of course the box with the word in it. And one way I'm going to rack up points and pick up extra lives is going to be whenever there's a bonus item on the screen, the camera may pan away from it, but if I just let me get this one on. Targeted the wrong word. If the bonus item's off screen but its hitbox is active, I'm going to just start throwing my fingers at the keyboard and try to blindly guess what that target word is. And usually for bonus items, it's just 1 key. It's usually a number or a letter. It's just 1 key that I have to find on the keyboard. So I'm just going to mash and try to rack up my combo meter that way. I don't usually get a 1 up there, so I'm glad it was there because I'm with a couple extra hits. Not quite as high as I want to be. I'm not really too stressed out about until chapter 4, level 5, because this game starts counting its chapters at 0.
Out of my way. Good job.
Every time I save my partner there from taking damage, I get a 1 up as well. So lots of opportunities to lots of opportunities to get your 1 ups. Come on. Come on, I gotta get in the group here. Let's go. See right there, I'm still hitting that coin. You know, it's way around the corner now. I was able to max out my points on it. And alright, our next boss fight's against the zombie sloth. Type 0028, the Fool. And this is where I'm going to get rid of my now 2 stopwatches. First cycle's pretty basic here. I'm just gonna see word, hit word, and then we're actually going to see a slightly different angle. I'm gonna be able to get rid of my stopwatches. So I'm just gonna pan up here, and every word that I need to hit is gonna pop at the same time. It's all gonna be there for me, which is when I'm going to get rid of these stopwatches, because it's slowing down the game for me, but it's okay, because I'm not waiting for anything to appear. It's all there already. The words are so far away, I'm not going to say no to a little bit more time there before they get close enough to actually deal damage. But it doesn't actually cost me time to drop my stopwatch there. E-N, E-N, E-N. $25. There we go. Kami no Muda. Alright, one last hit here. Ay, 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 that was the @ symbol. That's not what that ended in. Alright, one more hit here, for real. There we go. And on to the next stage. You can also some nothing between the first and the second game are the weapons. In the first game in the first Time Gunner Dead game, I should say, the agents have a Dreamcast on their back, like a backpack, and a big cheesy like keyboard like around their waist. It's kind of hard to explain. It's almost like it's the keyboard's in their lap, but they've got a thing so it's in their lap when they're standing. I don't know the best way to really describe it. It's super cheesy, but it's great. I love it. But it got a big facelift. No, you don't. Yes, you do. Okay, fine. It got a big facelift in the second Typing of the Dead game. The guns are super slick. It's just a big old keyboard with like a grip. No, you don't. The little books, the little blue books I pick up from time to time, they're really nice. They're genre dictionaries. They make all of the words follow some sort of a pattern or fall into a category, like fruits, or the other day in one game I got Sega games, titles of Sega games. All of the words were video game names. But I don't read Japanese, so I don't know what genre we're actually working with here, but all those words have something to do with one another. Sometimes the genre is just words with lots of hyphens in them. So that dictionary in particular can be pretty trolly, but it does make the phrases generally a little bit shorter. So it's a good pickup regardless. But if there's a lot of hyphens, it can be a little bit troublesome. Eee. Sloppy, sloppy, sloppy. Rounded it. Now we're on to the boss. Against Type 8830, the Sun. This is kind of like the Hydra fight in the first Typing of the Dead or House of the Dead 2. Where one phase of this is going to be a multiple choice question. First I pick my topic, I get a couple of easy targets here to shoot at. And now here's my question. Again, I'm not sure what it's asking me there, so from my standpoint, I'm just looking for the shortest word to type. Whichever one looks like I can type it faster, or just whichever one catches my eye first, that's the target I'm going with. And 1/3 of the time, I'll get the question right. If I get both questions wrong, I'm going to see 2 questions. If I get both questions wrong, I still don't even lose time then. It's pretty nice. There's not a lot of damage in that particular cycle. And you can make it up other places. Well, I'd rather just say if I miss both questions, I lose about half a second, maybe a second. Because I'll have to get both of these instead of just one. See. Look, I got them both. But it's not the end of the level. Come on, where's the D? There we go. Oy, there it is. Zombie Guiles. They look like Zombie from Street Fighter 2. They look like Guile from Street Fighter 2, if you ask me. Now see, this one's a trick. You see the guy on the left, lit up like that was the target and you need a target. No, that's a trick. At this point, the game just starts trolling you a little bit when it comes to saving your partner. Whichever one it highlights, that's not what you want to target if you want your extra life. Trixie. We're gonna go right. It's going to take us on a the path through this level is going to be quite a bit faster. And some of the harder enemies to hit here, there's some pretty fast moving enemies here. I'm just gonna get a better camera angle on them. It's just nice all the way around. I'm taking this right path. And we're gonna see a lot of this boss. He has a lot of hit points, evidently. I'm gonna chase this throughout the level. We're just gonna be doing this one. I'm gonna strategy on him for this whole level. As we turn this corner, I think we're gonna see. Nope, not right there yet, but I can still talk about it. One of the options you can actually set in the options screen. That's a good sentence. One of the options you can configure is something called word movement, and it's how fast and how much the words actually move around the screen. Now, we've got it in the default settings for this run. But for these enemies in particular, oh my goodness, they just bounce around the screen so much. It can be hard just to pick up the word you need to type on the screen. But that setting in particular really helps out against those smaller zombies there. Keep on. Right, 2 Molotovs. That's I feel a lot better than I did 15 seconds ago.
Looks like we got away.
Period. That's a period. I thought it was another comma. Uh-huh. Nope. Not today. Oh my gosh, can I find the I key? It's only in the word like 15 times. Alright, now we're at the life cap. That's good. I feel a lot better. I feel better about that now too.
Head down.
Okay, Tomo Dorazu. Come on.
You just don't give up, do ya?
Fuck.
Hey,
Ah, see? It's gonna... Nope, 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 nope. Bien and Donkey, and I realize that's probably not Bien and Donkey the way you might imagine them. That is what was on the screen. Ooh, pink medicine. And that will not help us go faster, but it will make me invincible for a short period of time. So, and like, oh, the extra life is over the cap. Aww. And then I take a hit. Oh, of course, that's okay. Chop.
I'm never going back there again.
I know Typing of the Dead 1 has, there actually are cabinets of that. You can't, there are actually, you know, arcade machines of Typing of the Dead 1 you can play. I don't know if there are Typing of the Dead 2, but I'd like to play it if there is one. For either one of them, I haven't actually seen the cabinet of either game in person. But usually the trouble with them, so I've heard, is usually the keyboards are missing keys. Assuming the keyboards work at all at this point. Those machines would be pretty old at this point. I mean, I don't know what how the keyboard's set up there, but it may not be very easy to to actually replace that. More vultures. I do wonder if I've never played any of the House of the Dead games as a light gun game, and I wonder if you can take those birds out much faster otherwise. So they sure do fly around a while before the game actually lets me start typing.
As it depends on the encounter.
I didn't quite hear you. You said it depends on the encounter of vultures.
Yeah, sometimes you can, sometimes you can't.
Okay. Ishi.
Let's hurry.
Just back off already.
That's a Z. All right, finally. Then on to the finale, chapter 5. And the difficulty is going to ramp up very quickly as soon as we load in. We are at maximum lives, maximum credits. So we're as well stocked for this stage as we can possibly be as far as the damage I can take. I would like another Molotov if I could have gotten it. But two's a lot for me recently, if I'm completely honest. Oh, I didn't realize I typoed. I scratched my head. No. If I start getting very low on lives on this credit, especially if I'm pretty far away from the boss still, I am going to use my items on the regular zombies rather than hold them for the boss. If I end up having to use a credit, I am going to lose my items. Although I saw one time I didn't, but only one time, so whatever magic I found there, I don't know what it was. But usually I do lose my items, and that feels bad. You also saw there, the zombie took a swing. I think it hits player 2 there, because it's never hit me. My. Oh! A little too slow. $5.5. Ay, question mark, let's go. Nope. It's always a dead end. You always look over there. 4,6,3. There we go. I think I hit every number except for 4.
Just wait.
Those guns are so cool. Again, I don't want to take damage. You never want to take damage in this run, really. But if I take, there's certain situations where I'm going to target in the wrong order on purpose, if that makes sense. Because what I don't want to do is be just slightly too slow to the first zombie and then just slightly too slow to the second zombie because of it, and then I'm taking multiple hits. What am I? Yeah, I thought it would go away. Like, I'm gonna let this first guy hit me. Then I'm only going to take one hit, if any. Ah, didn't get me this time. I turned on invincibility. Oh no. And I'm gonna have to I have to pop my Molotov there. So those brackets that you saw in that one phrase, I should have realized what the decision was earlier. Those brackets are not on my US keyboard. Oh, what a terrible way to lose a Molotov. Oh, that feels bad. And I waited to the end. That was just sad all the way around. One Molotov. I'm gonna pick up some items here though. All right. Could be a lot worse off. I've come under this boss fight much worse off, and I've come under this boss fight having already lost a credit. So I'll take this. I'll take this. We'll be okay. And I've got one invuln, one invisibility I can use. I've got one Molotov. I've got one grape jelly. The grape jelly will hit, excuse me, the one target. I did not type those in the order I meant to. Here, I'm gonna pick a genre. I'm gonna pick, I think it's hobby will be every time to prevent the boss from having to rotate. I'm gonna make it just finish that cycle there. See, so when I pick it, he's gonna have to rotate in place, but he's already there. I want to see more cycles with just the one word, by the way. Those fireball cycles do cost time, but it's RNG. There's nothing I can do about it. It just feels bad to get it. Come on. Especially when you get one slugger like that. Let's go. That felt good. I don't have Molotovs for the next phase, so I'm gonna regret that in about 2 minutes here. Ay. I could have had that. Should have had that. Oh, of course. The problem with those multiple target fireballs that he throws is if I don't hit them all, I just lose a cycle. I make no progress. That's true for all of them. If I don't hit everything on the screen, I don't actually deal damage to the boss. But that cycle's both slow, and if you type slow, it just compounds the problem. All right, here we go. This is the phase I'm not a big fan of. Fudge, come on. Come on. I need difficulty reset. I need to take this hit here if I'm not gonna type them well. There we go. So slow, let me type. Come on, give me something to shoot. Thank you. Oh my goodness. Takes so long to charge up. XDE. XDE hyphen. I wasn't ready for it. But the nice thing about inserting a credit is everything's gonna slow down a little bit. As you play longer, type better. Fudge. As you do better overall, the game will slowly get slower and slower. It'll get more and more difficult in the background. I need to hit this long one to deal damage. Hold on. Sloppy. Let's finish out strong here though. So having inserted another quarter means things got a little bit easier for me in the final boss. That's nice. There's not a whole lot I can do to make that section go faster, and I can't actually deal damage on this cycle. I can only deal damage when I'm facing the boss, so I don't mind taking the damage there necessarily. There's nothing I can do to go faster or slower there really. You just have to let the cycle play out. But I think I am on my last credit here now. Come on. Oh my god, I can't type all of a sudden. All of a sudden I've forgotten how to... All of a sudden I've forgotten how to type. Oh my god, have mercy on my soul, please. Oh my god. Thank goodness. Oh my god, for 3 I just could not figure out how to type. The letters on the screen. There's only so many letters on this keyboard. I could not find them. For the love of Pete. There we go. Goodness gracious me, oh my. Whew. All right, so now we're on to our last 4 hits here, I believe. And all of these answers are right. It doesn't really matter how I answer them. It is going to change the ending that we see, though. Last one. Okay, that's not what I wanted to type. There we go. Time. Good grief. Plus 46 seconds on the last chapter. That's abysmal. But we got there in the end. Goodness gracious. It's only 106 key keyboard. Most of them aren't even in the game. Numpad's not in the game.
This is our future.
Function key's not in the game.
You've got bigger problems to worry about.
You're not my father.
So that is it for the time. I do kind of want to see which ending we get. It's not going to take us too long to see it.
I begin walking toward the future.
Hey, let's go! They're waiting for us.
I do want to get there's the in-game timer. I do want to get on the screen. It's because I can see those now. So this part of the ending is always the same.
Taking care of Lisa. Actually, she did a good job taking care of herself. But Rogan, do you think this will change anything? It's their future. Maybe nothing will change. Maybe everything will be different. We've done our part.
Look at that beautiful skybox.
It's up to them to believe in themselves and walk their own paths. Believe in themselves.
After all this, we get the normal ending. I'm going to be a little sad.
A lot like you.
But if you choose silly answers in the last part of the fight there, you will get a silly ending. If you choose kind of regular answers, you will get the regular ending.
What's wrong?
Lisa, could you wait for a second?
This is the regular ending. We're going to look wistfully back at the building. Say something somewhat pithy. and then walk away. Sometimes you will be walking to your vehicle and a zombie will take your car and just start driving away very, very slowly as you try to chase it down. Also very, very slowly. And that is the end of House of the Dead 3, or in this case, Typing of the Dead 2. There is a House of the Dead remake coming out soon, TM. I have seen it been announced. I would really, really like for it to have a Typing of the Dead mechanic on it, because pretty much all modern consoles support keyboards now. There's no reason not to have it. It'd be nice to have Typing of the Dead 0 to round out the series here. If you ever decide to play this game or any Typing of the Dead game, though, in the credits, and this will be the last thing before I sign off, you can type the name of the credits that you see, and if you do that and you hit all of them, at the end of the credits, you do get a bonus scene. But thank you for having me at Mid-Speed Fling. Mid Rhyme Scheme A, Spring Speed Rhyme Scheme B. A. You know what I mean. Thank you for inviting me. Please continue to donate for the Bid Wars, the incentives that are coming up. The money's all going to Sweet Relief Musicians Fund. I will see everybody in the chat.
Thank you very much for that run, Sushi Kishi. The Japanese restream was... There was a lot of laughter and confusion about what was appearing on screen. Also, props for the Sweet Relief shirt.
Yeah, definitely. Definitely. They do have there is a Sweet Relief merchant store, and anything that you buy from there, well, not tying to the stream, of course, but any merchandise you do buy, I did see goes to their pandemic relief fund as well.